Spoiler warning. True Detective, which debuted in 2014, changed the detective mystery genre with its captivating murder mysteries and philosophical pessimism. Although the show was based on a variety of real-life events and artistic illusions, writer-director Nic Pizzolatto primarily based True Detective's core narrative on weird/horror fiction such as Robert W. Chambers' The King in Yellow. The reveal of the Carcosa in True Detective Season 1 is a mystery foreshadowed by clever hints throughout the program. The non-linear story of True Detective centers on Louisiana State Police homicide investigators Rust Cole, played by Matthew McConaughey, and Marty Hart, played by Woody Harrelson, who are forced to re-examine Dora Lange's 1995 murder 17 years after they first joined up to investigate it. A scattering of red herrings, obscure literary references, and intriguing philosophical subtexts had characterized the whole first season of True Detective, building to the thrilling revelation of Carcosa and the identity of the true culprit at the conclusion of the first season. The sign of the crooked spiral. The season-wide symbol is present. One of the earliest instances of religio-cultural imagery in True Detective Season 1 was the twisted spiral, which was engraved on the back of Dora Lange, the murder victim. Throughout the episode, the spiral recurs multiple times. For example, it appears when Russ sees a spiraling bird formation in a hallucination and when Marty's house has the sign. But this turned out to be crucial in figuring out the whereabouts of the evil Tuttle family from True Detective, who utilized the spiral along with other symbols to represent and identify their beliefs. It's interesting to note that in the end, Rust experiences an unearthly spiral vortex, which may be a reference to the long-lost, cursed Carcosa reality. The spaghetti monster sketch. The child's recollection turns out to be more accurate than their initial thoughts. In True Detective Season 1, Rust and Marty stumble upon a sketch of a man who resembled a green-eyed spaghetti monster and was pursuing a young child through the woods while doing their investigation. Despite their initial confusion over the drawing, which was, after all, a little child's interpretation of a potentially dangerous man, the two were able to identify the monster. Errol Childress was one of the only guys without a mask who tormented and photographed sleeping children at Shepherd's Flock Elementary School. He was a tall, burly member of the dark and violent Tuttle cult. His face was covered in wounds. He got the nickname Green-Eared Spaghetti Monster after chasing a kid through the woods while green paint was dripping on his ears. The King of Yellow. True Detective's occult aspects incorporate other sources. The Yellow King's cult may be another nod to the Tuttle cult, but True Detective is drawn to this figure's mythology in a way that borders on the paranormal. The universe of True Detective is infused with cosmic dread in ways that are only described as incomprehensible. True Detective Season 1 features elements of a true story, yet the Yellow King has a close connection to both H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos and Robert W. Chambers' The King in Yellow. 10 short stories make up Chambers' collection. The first 4 are strange, horrific tales about a forbidden play called The King in Yellow, which drives readers insane and into despair by having the cursed yellow sign stalk them every second of the day. From a program perspective, the Yellow King might resemble Childress or some other member of the Tuttle cult, or it could be the concept of an unknown evil worshipped by the group. The 5 Horsemen in Hoods. The unsettling image reverberates throughout True Detective's first season. The image of 5 men surrounded by a young girl appeared frequently throughout True Detective Season 1, suggesting ritualistic abuse and possibly murder. This is especially evident when Rust and Marty come upon the disturbing clue, a picture of a young Dora Lange surrounded by 5 guys in hoods, when they see it in the context of what happens next. Subsequently, the investigators discover a video showing 5 masked men abusing and sacrificing a kid at the Tuttle residence, who is thought to be Marie Fontenelle. Interestingly, Rust turns 5 beer cans into 5 humans standing in a circle, and Audrey, Marty's daughter, is seen playing with 5 male dolls surrounding a naked female doll. Other sequences feature similar mirroring of this imagery. These incidents are subliminal motifs that linger in the True Detective universe, even though they aren't intended to be concrete, physical clues. Carcosa. The True Detective Season 1 is led by the clue finale. Notes on Carcosa and the Black Stars from Season 1 of True Detective. True Detective Season 1's mention of Carcosa is a huge clue in and of itself. It turns out to be the Yellow King's lair. Even if the spectator is never fully aware of the world's implications in regard to the Tuttle reveal, the term Carcosa conjures up images of fear. But the last confrontation between Rust and the murderer occurs in a rundown, temple-like building called Carcosa, which fits Chambers' description of the city nicely. The site of the eerie rites conducted by the Tuttle cult throughout the years was the old stone ruins near Louisiana Louisiana bayou. They may not have been a cursed, otherworldly metropolis with dual suns. This alone lends the location an ominous air because it reflects the ascension-based religious and spiritual belief systems, such as the black star cluster over the made-up city and the idea that men's thoughts lengthen in the afternoon. Whether or not Carcosa is a real person, she represents the depravity of human nature and the extremes people, like as the Tuttles in True Detective, would go to in order to defend their dark, twisted beliefs.